Ah, Christmas, that festive feeling. The season of giving, spending time with your loved ones, and, well, supporting your favourite content creators on Patreon. I'm joking, God. Hello and Merry Christmas. I may sound odd because I'm recovering from being sick, and Konami just dropped a whole load of big news on us that I can't really ignore, so we'll look over that towards the end of this video. However, the main thing we want to do today is celebrate Christmas. Something I feel that goes super underappreciated each year is the Christmas charity event that Konami sets up. Entry for this special event is just 5 tins of food, and the rules are simple. For each round, if you beat your opponent, you take 1 tin off them, and vice versa, and then at the end of the tournament, you cash in your tins for the same number of OTS packs. So the prize support is super generous, it costs like nothing to enter, and at the end of it all the tins get donated to charity. Oh, and the winner of the full event gets a Christmas calendar on top of their packs. Any OTS can apply to host this event and even choose their own charity, while Konami provides prize support at their own expense. And with a good few hundred OTS stores all around the country, that adds up. So instead of making a big donation to some random charity for the sake of PR, they're managing to contribute to hundreds of different communities all around, generally making the country a better place over the holidays, and they don't really get any credit for it. So I just wanted to show some appreciation for that. As a tournament organizer myself, this was an opportunity to contribute towards my own community, so we did just that. Meet our cat Rosie. My girlfriend and I are both very fond of animals, so we were super excited for this event to help provide for a local shelter. Mrs. Murray's home for stray dogs and cats. They've been running for 130 years now, taking in unwanted and stray animals and looking after them until they can find them a forever home, where they'll get the love they deserve. So we encouraged people to take not just food, but toys and treats as well, and well, everyone that participated went the extra mile and donated extra. We ended up having like 2 bags and a big box, all completely full with supplies, and I couldn't be happier. Rosie herself was rescued from a shelter, and honestly, she's completely spoilt. Like, most of the presents under the Christmas tree are for her, and we're hoping for the same for all the animals in the shelter. So if you do ever consider getting a pet in the future, I highly recommend that you adopt from a shelter because they need it most. I've seen quite a few people asking for locals gameplay in the comments, so here we have the final round, table 1. It's Altergeist versus Orcust, unsurprisingly. This match only lasted about 20 minutes, and I haven't watched it back yet, so I'm actually quite interested to see how it plays out. So obviously we've got Orcust on the left and Altergeist on the right, and Altergeist starts off strong with a Pot of Extravagance. I'm not too familiar with this matchup and how it kind of tends to go, but the Orcust player does have a really good hand. I'd hope to draw into some back row removal with that orchestrated return, but I guess we'll see. So down comes a Meluseek, I assume to link into Linkuriboh, fetch and multi-faker from the deck. It's then just a case of how many back row does he set before he passes his turn. He ends on 3 back row and multi-faker in hand, so I would at least be expecting like a Solemn or an Imperm or something like that, plus a Sulcoitus later in the turn. So I've paused the clip here where we have a good view of the hand, and I want to try and figure out the best line of play here. There's so many different plays here that there could be loads of answers, so I'm interested to see what you think is the best line of play. What would you do? I personally think you would want to normal summon Mathematician as bait, since you have guaranteed access to Orcust plays anyway in your hand. So hope your opponent responds with like a strike or an Imperm, which triggers multi-faker, getting out Sulcoitus, and then you can just mind control the Sulcoitus. But that way, if your opponent has Called by the Grave, you're pretty much done. So yeah, let me know what you think. Here, our Orcust player starts with a mind control on Linkuriboh, and then follows it up with Orchestrated Return, dumping Harp Horror, drawing into a second return and a DD Crow. It's not great. I guess coupled with Crescendo, you're like guaranteed to banish multi-faker. But from here, he normal summons Symbol Skeleton and links into Galatea. Activating the effect of Harp, he summons Orcust Nightmare from the deck, and then he goes on to activate Galatea, but gets met with an Imperm. triggering Multi-Faker. So Multi-Faker summons itself from hand and then activates its effect on summon to special summon a Altergeist monster from deck, and he special summons Meluseek? So I guess that means he's either got all his silks in hand or he has protocol set. Our Orcus player links into Longursu and then activates the effect of Skeleton Engrave to revive Galatea. To the wrong zone, it should be pointing to Longursu, but I guess he just goes into Ding from here. No, okay, he's activating the effect of Longursu, which gets protocoled, and because he's not linked, Longursu gets destroyed. Oh dear. Then, because Meluseek was sent to the grave, he searches for Conquery from deck, which isn't the biggest deal against Orcus, because Gizmek can just attack over it. So yeah, speaking of, he then activates the effect of Nightmare to send Gizmek from deck to grave. Setting Crescendo and Return, he then proceeds to go to the battle phase and declares an attack over Multi-Faker, which obviously gets met with Conquery. Wait, what? Kelby, what are you doing? Gizmek, Dingursu, what are you doing? So he threw game 1, let's try game 2. I'm seeing a red reboot and a scrap recycler, so that's a good start. Altergeists are starting off with Marionetter, setting protocol from the deck. He sets one more and passes over to our Orcus player, who top decks Rota, which isn't really that useful since we already have Scrap Recycler. I mean, I guess it could be used to like try and bait an Ash. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot of plays that can be made with this hand. I guess if Scrap Recycler goes through, then it's pretty much OTK. But we'll see how it plays out. So he starts by activating Babel, then follows it up with a normal summon of Scrap Recycler, which is met with an Imperm, which is met with Red Reboot. So it's basically all or nothing at this point. The Altergeist player can't activate any more traps for the rest of this turn, but he is able to set Imperial Iron Wall from his deck, which just kills Orcus. So Scrap Recycler resolves and Harp Horror is sent to the graveyard. Activating its effect to special summon from deck, he is met with the Ash Blossom, and that near enough seals the deal, unless he can find a way to remove Imperial Iron Wall. But I think I can see why this match only lasted 20 minutes now, and that's because he doesn't. So Altergeist wins the battle, but Orcus wins the war, because Kelby still managed to win the entire event.
I'm joking, Kelby, I'm proud.
Lower holiday for Christmas.
Even though he's 15 days ago.
Well played. Sure, fall like this.
And that was the end of the Christmas charity event until next year. I look forward to doing it again next year. So now moving on to a couple of things that we should be talking about. Obviously, you've been waiting for the next episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! From Scratch. It was meant to be out on Thursday, however, I was ill and couldn't really do much about it. So to make up for that, I will give you 2 episodes next week, Monday and Thursday. With there being no more local tournaments over the holiday season, I had to pre-record quite a lot of stuff, and let me tell you, it gets pretty damn juicy over the next couple of episodes. So look forward to that for sure. I'll try my best to do as much editing as possible between, you know, like family and holiday stuff. My laptop's pretty much on its last legs at the moment. Even just editing this video was a massive struggle. So I'm definitely going to have to be looking to upgrade my rig in the very, very near future. Hopefully we can set ourselves up with something decent that will last us a long time. And I've also got a little secret that I can let you in on. There may or may not be a special kind of giveaway in the next episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! From Scratch. You may want to be there on Thursday, just saying. On to the news! So, Konami Japan announced during their Jump Fiesta stream, I think it was, that on April 1st, 2020, there will be a update to the main rules of the game. Shortly after, TCG also announced that we will be getting this update on the exact same date, April 1st, 2020, and I'm sure you will have heard at least one of your other favorite content creators speak about this already, but Synchro, Fusion, and Xyz monsters will now no longer require link arrows or the extra monster zone to be summoned. So basically we're getting the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Back, and everyone is going wild, like so many people are excited about it. And that makes me happy. A lot more people are going to be wanting to play the game again, and it's going to thrive even more. Personally, I find it a little overwhelming seeing as I started actually playing in link format. So I've had no experience of the meta before links, and therefore when all these decks come crashing through with all their combos, I'm gonna have no idea what's going on. But you know, We like to learn, and I welcome the challenge. In terms of how it's going to affect Yu-Gi-Oh! From scratch, well, I don't really think it will. We might get different lines of play available to us, or we might be able to extend our combos like a little bit further, but other than that, I think our main endgame combo pieces still remain the same. Actually, saying that, Galactic Spiral Dragon pretty much enables Ultimaya Tzolk'in, which is a huge deal. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's somewhat Christmassy video. If you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy your festives and have a wonderful Merry Christmas with all your loved ones. See you on Thursday, where it's my birthday.
Gravel road, I've been asked to slow down. Fireplace to